When was the last time you did something for the first time? I remember when I was a kid and trying new things, it was the norm. But as we become older, trying new things becomes scary. We already set up our minds in behaving, talking, and relating to others in a certain way. And our tendency as adults is, as somebody break that mold, we tend to reject that person or that situation because we already have our life together, don't we? But today, it is my task not only deal with challenging people in the meeting, but to tackle a challenging topic. In the last 4 weeks, I have been working with you of how can we sign up for our roles on time. And I have great news for you. Today is the last time I'm going to talk about this. Last time. Apparently 5 times is not enough, and that's why I'm here again with this. You see, we discussed a few weeks ago, and I'm so grateful for Nicole. She was the one who brought this idea that everything starts with our thoughts, and then from our thoughts comes our words, and then our actions. And in the last 4 weeks, we have agreed that something needs to be done, right? That it requires leadership, right? We have said that it's time for us to step up and do this small thing that can create a big difference in our club, especially for Toastmasters, and we don't want none of them to have a stroke or something. Now, this is where the challenge becomes real, tangible. We all agree in that line of thought, right? We all agree in that thinking.
Sure.
Yes? And we express words in the last 4 weeks. Yeah, we need to step up. We need to be leaders. We need to sign up on time. Yeah, Friday at 5 p.m. Yeah. And we even verbalize those thoughts and that agreement. But when it comes to actions, I received less than 48 hours ago an email from our president saying not all the roles are completed. For that reason, something happened here in this arrow here, right here. Something happened that we can agree mentally. We can verbalize the same ideas, but at the time to put them on practice, they don't work that way. Anthony, why do you think that happens?
Because we're distracted all the time.
But you know, we just said we were going to do something. We thought it was good. Why do you think we don't do it?
Life gets in the way and we don't prioritize properly.
Are you trying to tell me that when we come here, we lie openly to everybody?
Oh, I don't think we lie openly. Excuse me. No.
What do you
I don't.
think?
I think we lie internally to ourselves.
But we heard you.
We lie to ourselves.
We heard you. Tom, if you give me just an opportunity, I would love to understand. I already know what Lisa doesn't believe, but I don't know what she believes, and I want to hear that. Can you tell me? You told me I don't lie openly. Can you explain that? Because you just agreed with me a second ago that this is the pattern.
Right.
And now you're saying it's not. Help me out.
Sure. So I believe that my thoughts is where it all takes place, my lies and my truth. And I really, really want to be here, and I really, really want to sign up, and I really want to give a speech. But the truth is, I really don't want to give a speech. That's why I haven't given a speech. So the lie starts with my thoughts. As far as signing up on time, I say I'm going to sign up on time, and most of the time within these 5 weeks, I have. So, but after you stop, I don't know. After the emails stop coming, I don't know. Because I am not fully committed in my mind.
Tom, I want to hear what you need to say. Could you please tell me in relationship to what Lisa just said. What are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with that, and sometimes it's because we don't always know what our schedule is gonna be until Monday or Tuesday of the following week, so we have to wait once in a while to see if we can play a role.
Okay.
That was the case for me this week.
I don't think we lie because a lie is something that you know you're absolutely, at the time you say it, you're not going to do it. I think at the time we say what we say, it is our good-hearted intention to do it. Just, at least for me, it keeps getting pushed back because it's not due right now. There's no sense of absolute urgency. And then the spilled milk that just happened, you're not going to say, I'm working on the speech, so that milk's going to have to wait. You're going to say, I'll clean up the milk.
I don't disagree with what you said. And I don't want to sound too rude with the things that I'm about to say now. That's great when we are in middle school. When we are in middle school, we have that flexibility of saying, you know what, this day I want to behave like an adult, and this day I want to behave like a kid. That's awesome when you're 13 or 14. But the good thing about this club is made out of leaders who are adults, who make a commitment. And all of you, because all of you are professional people, you know that consistency is one of the main ingredients for success. Consistency is what differentiates us from being youngsters to be adults. And I am not trying to insult anybody in this room, including me. What I'm trying to say is, at some point, and I hope it's not through suffering, we're going to find the value of signing up on time for our roles. I'm going to give a very personal example, and I hope you can grasp the spirit of my words. For months, I have been praying that Suzanne will rejoin the club and step up as the leader that she is, that I met when I became a Toastmaster. She always had been this crazy lady, purple lady in our club, and she's such a vibrant person. And for a while, she had responsibility with her daughter. She was not able to be here. And once she came back, I was so excited. And she started, kind of a timid, slow, shy. I'm going to be a greeter. I'm going to be that. And today is the first day she's coming out of that cage and becoming our Toastmasters, right? And the thing is, our roles were not signed on time. Our roles were not signed on time. And if we are in the business of making leaders, we need to think, as we discussed before, that this is not only about us, but about other people. Tom, I basically heard your voice, but I didn't understand what you were saying. Can you please express to all of us your ideas?
Yeah, I was communicating that Suzanne's been around for a while, and it's good to see her back.
Sure. I agree with you 100%. That's it. Eric, you have this incredible bubbling personality like hers. You're very passionate. What is your take in this? How can we, not only as a team but as individuals, can conquer this idea that I can think yes, but I will not do it? How can we work with this idea in reference to signing up to the roles?
So how can we get the connection between the thoughts, the
actions?
actions?
To make this and this the same thing.
I think it's a daily practice, not just with this club, but with every single little thing you do. You have to make it a point to have integrity. And for me personally, when I see an email that says that there's roles, that are filled, I'm like, I feel terrible. And actually a month ago, I went and said, okay, for the next 30 days, I'll plan on doing this role, that role, right? And I looked and saw what times I would be available to fill a role. So I made a conscious decision and took action right away because I was convicted that there was a lack of roles to fill. So I went and I took care of the next 30 days for what I would be able to do because it was pulling at me. right? There was conviction. I felt bad for letting you guys down, for letting the club down. So that drew me to action, not what we talk about, not the thoughts that we all share, but where my heart is at is what pushes me to action.
Are you
It is
saying that,
important
oh, I'm
for-
sorry.
Yeah, so
Are
go
you
ahead.
saying that we should try to tug at their heartstrings? You know, like
Can you-
put out
I can
information?
barely hear you, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, let me come close.
I'm wondering if he's saying if we should try and tug at everyone's heartstrings, you know, in promoting signing up. He's saying it tugged at it, it convicted him. So is that something that we should try to do? Sign up, everybody. We need you desperately, you know? I mean, I don't know.
Well, you mentioned before, Lisa, that when you probably need those emails to come in, right? You mentioned something like that. It was you. Yeah, it was you. Yeah, I'm just looking at.
I'm looking at my memory. I can't recall.
Oh, okay.
I do not recall.
Okay. We have, if you remember a few weeks ago, this is divided in two parts. The club has a responsibility to promote, to encourage, to motivate, and to model how a Toastmaster should behave in a club.
It's motivate.
And, yeah, sure. And we received the emails, and I didn't hear what you said, and I want to be
I'm
very
sorry.
respectful.
I'm sorry. It's motivate. You said motivate. Yes.
Thank you
motivate.
so much. The thing is, we have a responsibility too. Because when we sign to become a Toastmasters, we receive a list of responsibilities. Eric, how was your experience when you became a Toastmaster? Was that something clear for you, the responsibilities you have as a member?
Well, I personally take my responsibilities very seriously. I sign up for roles, and I know that whatever I do has an impact, or potentially can have an impact on those around me. So if I'm energetic and passionate, then they know that I'm motivated to fill those roles.
Thank you so much, Eric. I have only one more question, and in this question, I would love to hear everybody, at least with a brief sentence. What can you do, what can I do, starting today, to go in this direction that we all agree we should go? What can I do individually to deal with this situation? Because this is what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid that you learn this lesson through experience. And what experience looks like? Well, you can ask Suzanne how experience looks like. That you will sign up to be a Toastmasters, and Tuesday night will come and you have half of the roles not filled. It's not a pleasant experience. And this is what I'm trying to avoid. And I know you want to avoid that too. For the reason, it's better to have a consensus and a general commitment versus waiting for each of you to become a Toastmasters and struggle with that reality. But what is one thing you and I can do in order to move in this direction? I want to start back there with that lovely girl. Grandma, are you having fun today?
So much fun.
Can you tell me one simple thing?
One thing I try to do is to go out as far as Lisa has the agendas posted and sign up for something. Then, if something does happen to change my schedule, as we've all mentioned here, I can amend it and make a note. Like today, I have my grandbaby, so I didn't feel like I could be grammarian, and thank you, Tom. So just I put myself on the agendas, and if it needs to be changed, then at that point change it.
Eric, what do you think you can do? Thank you so much, Colleen.
I can give Colleen my check to pay my dues. And then that buys me in for the next 6 months, and then I can go and fill out my roles for the next 6
I
months.
think that's awesome. You're kind of late, but that's awesome. But about the signing up for the roles is our topic today.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I can just go in today and look at the next 30-day period that I know my schedule.
Next
is
4
gonna be.
weeks?
Yeah, and sign up for the next 4 roles.
What about you, Matthew? What can you do?
everybody needs to feel the pressure of being the Toastmaster so that they understand why this is important, that every member takes his own responsibility. I don't know how that answers the question, what I can do.
I think at least make people reflect a little bit about this. Juan, can you tell me one simple thing you can do to move in this direction?
Well, first of all, I need to know what direction I'm trying to move.
We are trying to go to a place where everybody sign up for the roles by Friday at 5 p.m.
Well, as many of you know, I'm fighting dementia, and there's a lot of confusion, comes and goes. I'm glad that you're my buddy, and you challenged me to give a speech, and I haven't. Out of fear of not being able to do it, I haven't even tried. But I'm going to.
Well, do you think if we send an email to you on Thursday reminding everybody about the roles on Friday, that could help you?
Or is a phone call better?
Are you talking about giving a speech?
Or signing up for a role before Friday at 5 p.m.?
Yeah, I can make that.
Okay. What do you think, sir?
I think that kind of the larger question is how do you motivate somebody to do something you want them to do? And I think that the answer is you really can't. You can suggest why they should do something. You can give them the reasons why they should do it. But ultimately, each one of us as individuals has to decide we're going to do it. I can tell you that I signed up for Evaluator, I think, either Monday or Tuesday. And the reason I didn't sign up before is because, frankly, I wasn't sure if I was going to come or not. It's that kind of a poor excuse. But I think that each one of us individually just has to commit, decide, and whatever it takes within our own minds to do that, we have to do it. Because, you, Andrew, or anybody else could stand up there and talk to a blue in the face. I mean, I've done it. Okay, let's sign up, for the next role next week. And the bottom line is, none of us can motivate each other to do it until each individual decides, this is what I'm going to commit to. I'm going to commit to signing up by 5 o'clock Friday. And until that happens, we won't.
Julie, I haven't heard you this morning. Can you tell me one thing you can do to move in the direction of signing up on Fridays before 5 p.m.?
What I can do?
Yeah.
I can keep trying to become the member I want to be, and hopefully I will be part of the group instead of being on the outside.
What about you? Pam, right?
Yes, I was just thinking about coming in as a new person, about the tone, and I don't mean to start off my time here on a negative way, but of the club, as you know from being in the church, it seems like 10% of the people do 100% of the work, and that's kind of the norm when they do statistics. And I was, I guess, expecting to see something different here because it's a group of leaders. And I should be having to elbow some of you out of the way to get to be, inspirational moment jokester or a Toastmaster or whatever. That I guess we just need a change of attitude so that it's an honor and a privilege to be able to be any of these things instead of, you having to beg us to do what as leaders should come naturally to us.
Pam, I don't care if we go over the time, but I cannot let you go from this meeting today thinking that this is something we are solving because we are horrible and we want to become good. We are good already. We want to be excellent. We are not horrible on this. We're good. We challenge the whole club to become even better. For that reason, we are not deciding between good and bad. We are deciding between good and better. And I want to be sure everybody have the opportunity to talk Suzanne, I haven't heard you yet. Could you please tell me one thing? You experienced this today. What can you do from now on to sign up and go in that direction?
I gotta be my best me. I gotta say no to good and be my best me, because without me, there's no way.
Excellent. Andrew, can you let us know? What can you do? What else can you do?
Well, it's always a function of leadership. I have to lead, the people on the executive committee have to lead. They have to see it happening all the time. There has to be that consistent leading, not once in a while. So if people who say, I'll take a role of leadership, don't lead, then it works its way back to the club. So anytime we sign up for the executive roles, we really have to step forward and lead. And then we need to just keep reinforcing leadership is a decision you make, it's a habit you build, and it's something you achieve rather than born with. For me, I know that's true.
Missy?
I don't know, I got nothing.
That's unbelievable. Just imagine for a second that I'm one of your clients. What can you say?
I don't know, I'm just real busy.
Do you think something needs to be done?
Maybe.
Why? Why maybe? Are you satisfied where we are?
I'm happy with where I'm at.
Really?
Yeah, my
Wow.
life's great.
Wilfred, please.
Well, I think many of us have our devices here, and even though it's really small, you can actually sign in while you're here and go to the next week and pick a role before you leave here. Because once you pass those glass doors, the world starts intruding on you. So while you're here, we're here for an hour and a half. There are times in which you're like, okay, let's have quiet for a minute, that you could log in and say, bam, that's what I'm going to do.
Leadership is at the heart of this new community, including the reality that to lead others effectively, we must lead ourselves first.
Amen.
We have a great conversation today, and I hope we will move forward. You want to know what the confirmation of this conversation will be? Next Wednesday, 7:45. Thank you.